So today is the WWDC, the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference, and something they've been doing for a couple of years now is announcing hardware at Developers Conference. I don't know why they started going down this path, but they have. And my last video I did on this actually got some good traction. So I'm going to do a video on what was announced and what you can expect to see coming down the wire. Greetings, Dave here, DCPFX. So let's get into the WWDC. Now, I took notes on my iPad while it was going on, so I'm just going to refer to those. So if you see me looking at it, that's what I'm looking at. So the first thing they announced was a new MacBook Air. So I don't know if the Pros are going by the way of the Dodo or not, but now we have a 15-inch MacBook Air, M2 processors, 4 colors, 18 hours of battery life. That's phenomenal. It's fanless, and it looks like you can go up to 24 gigabytes of RAM and up to 2 terabytes, starting at $12.99 US. So that is something that's pretty cool. That's actually a very, very good price point for like a new M2 processed machine. Now, I'm sure that $12.99 probably is 128 gigs and maybe 8 gigs of RAM. So you're going to have you'll have to update or go higher, because a lot of people, sorry for my bona fides on this. I've been an Apple reseller. I had been an Apple reseller for 20 years. Well, for 20 years ago. I stopped 10 years ago when Steve died, things went kind of crazy when Tim took over. So I stopped being a reseller 10 years ago, and just recently I am no longer a warranty provider, but I'm just a service provider. So anyway, so it's a good price point for this. So there you go. Take that with it as it will. Also, they updated the Apple Studio, the Mac Studio, M2 Max. So the chip is now faster than the M2 Ultra, 25% faster, and 20% faster than the Ultra. Oh, sorry, it's faster than 25% faster than the Max. The M2 Max is faster than the M2, and it's 20% faster than the Ultra, and you get up to 198 gigabytes of RAM if you want to custom build it. And the proviso of all these is, because I service them and I was selling them for a long time, with these machines, there's no serviceable parts on them. Like basically, it's a logic board with everything. So if you think you need 16 gigs of RAM, get 16 gigs of RAM. You cannot change it later. We'll order another logic board. It's like $1,000. Just configure the machine you want at the time you want it. So that's cool. I'm doing all this on a Studio, and this is the first generation Studio, and this is phenomenal. I've got the M1 Max in it, and it's phenomenal. So the M2 is just going to be better again on top of that. They also announced an update to the Mac Pro. Finally, it gets a silicone chip. It has an M2 chip in it. So hugely increased graphic processing. It starts at $7,000, I think, US. So it's not something that home users are going to get. But if you are, you're a music person, you're a video person, you're doing this for a living, yeah, you've got that kind of money to do that. So that is it, other than one more thing, the classic one more thing. We'll get to that at the end. A lot of updates in the iOS. So in iOS 17, you've got some updates on your contact poster on your lock screen. You can do more with that. Also, live voicemail. Now, when I first did this, I went, okay, whatever. Then I realized I get a lot of phone calls, and I don't want to pick them up. But if it's important, obviously, but I don't know if it's important because I don't know what it is. So with this new live voicemail, if someone calls you and you don't pick up and they start leaving a voicemail, hey, it's Bob, I'm outside your house. Oh, yeah, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, let's do this. So that's kind of cool. It's going to do that in live time. So that's kind of nice. Also, in that same vein of messaging, in FaceTime, if you FaceTime someone and they don't pick up or they can't reach you, than that, you can leave a message. You can leave a quick video message saying, hi, trying to reach you, trying to do this. So that's kind of cool. Now, for me, a lot of the stuff they're doing is they're running out of things to add to their software. It's like, well, let's add this. Let's add this. I said that. People ask me about that all the time, as I'm fixing machines. There's not much more you can add to these operating systems. So yeah, that's what's going on. They find little things. Wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? Wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? So that's what's going on. They're adding these things as well. Let's see. You can also do location sharing on messages. So it also was too on, there's something too about battery as well. So if I'm messaging back and forth with you, I can see where you are and say, oh, their battery's about. So I know when so-and-so stops responding, their battery just died. So location sharing, you can make new stickers. You can do, it's called name drop. So in the past, hang on, give me your phone. Okay, let me just type in here, give me your phone. I'll type in my information. So you've got it. Now you just take it, hold it close, and it will share it. So that is kind of cool. Again, easy things. That's like, it's AirDrop on steroids, really. The keyboard's been updated, dictation's better, and there's a journaling app coming. Now, I use Day One, which works really well for me, but the journaling app is built in the OS. I'll look at it. I'm at 517 days now of journaling, so I do that. It's something I do at night. I just wrap up my day. And it's cool because I get to see what happened 2 years and 3 years and 4 years ago. So it's kind of fun. That's coming later in the year. And there also is a new thing they've done. It's called standby mode. Basically, it's nightstand mode. So if I have my phone on a stand and I have it in this orientation, will give you like a clock. And here's your events. Here's what's going on. All these things like that. Now, they're very light on saying which phones are going to run this. This is a 12. I'm sure it will run most of it, but there's some things I'm sure are going to be M1 only. Are there M1 phones? Are there M1 iPads? But I don't know if they're M1 phones or not. But we'll see what it's going to run on. And that's all coming out, like, I think on the iPad, I can put the beta on, like, as of today, because I'm a beta developer for the iPad. I don't have beta on the phone because I use my phone more than I use my iPad. So I'll play around with the iPad and see what it does. Speaking of iPad OS, widgets are going to be more interactive. So you can put widgets on the home screen, as you can do now, but they're more interactive. You can do a whole lot of different things with it. So that's kind of cool. You can personalize a lock screen like you can on your phone. So that's a nice little update as well. And you can also get some what they call live activities. So I've ordered something from Amazon. It's coming soon. I can actually have it on my screen saying, drivers left, drivers at right. So that can just come up as a widget, which is kind of cool. There's some health app that is being moved to the iPad, which has only been on the phone. They're putting health onto the iPad. And they have also, we got more PDF support in Notes. It's better support for PDF across the whole thing. So fillables, things like that. The collaboration is live. So they showed a video of it. They had two guys collaborating, and they had one guy was drawing something, and you see it on the other guy's iPad as it was going. So that's kind of cool. And the new drawing tools in Freeform. So it's going to be watercolors and things like that. So Freeform I was using. I haven't used it much. I don't have much, so I want to go across. But with these new tools, I think I'm going to do more of that. That sounds pretty cool. The next thing was Mac OS. What are we at now? Ventura. The next one now is Sonoma. Funny, they were cats, and then now they're places. But we're at Sonoma now. What do we have here? You get widgets on your desktop, widgets on your Mac. So that's kind of nice. There's a video conferencing mode. It's called Effect Presenter. When they did the last iOS, they had the ability to separate out the backgrounds. So they showed that with pictures. There's a picture of a dog, and they separated the dog out from the background. This new live presenter mode is going to let you do the same thing. So I'm doing a big presentation, and this works in Zoom and Teams and WebEx, all these things. I'm doing a presentation, and I want to have this chart behind me. I can do that. It will knock the background out, put me in front of it. There's a couple different modes to it, but put me in front of my display. That will pretty cool. And it's integrated directly into Zoom, so that's kind of cool. I don't Zoom anymore. I don't have a Rotary Club to go to and Zoom with, but anyway. So that's called the Presenter Overlay. There's updates to Safari, and there's profiles, and there's and there's web apps. So you can say, I like this particular page, make it an app, and then you can just click on it. So that's, as I said, it's just they're running out of things to add to the OS. So these little things are handy, kind of cool. New software for the AirPods, new adaptive audio. So it actually will do, the way they did it, it was very cool. It was a guy was walking, and someone came up and started talking to him. It took the noise down, took it down from noise canceling, so he could talk to his friend, and then the friend left, it went back up noise canceling. It also has selective, so you can hear like someone on a bike ringing their bell because they're behind you, but it then blocked out a marching band. I know, marching band. And better switching between devices. So if I have my AirPods on my phone, I want to switch them to my iPad, switch them to my computer, much faster switching, much better auto switching on that. More connectivity with AirPlay, which I don't do much AirPlay, so like what else.
tvOS is also getting updated. Better connectivity. The ability to do FaceTime from the tvOS just using your phone. So you start a conversation, like a FaceTime conversation on your phone, in front of your Apple TV. You just put the phone down into a like a holder, and then it will take over, and then you can do your FaceTiming with your big screen TV. Well, that's kind of cool. That's something. I have an older version of the Apple TV, so we'll see if that supports that or not. And Zoom will also be coming to the tvOS. So, we're still doing a lot of meetings, so that is something. WatchOS is up to WatchOS 10, so it's celebrating 10 years. So they're gonna have portraits on the lock screen, and you can take your crown and just rotate it to bring up your widgets, things like that. They're going to be Snoopy and Woodstock, so they partnered up with the Schultz, the Peanuts characters, so be able to do that. And a lot of cycling stuff. I'm not a cycler, so I don't really do that, but it will allow you to Bluetooth to your cycling devices that measure your cycling things. Some cool compass waypoints, a mental health app, a vision app. So they're taking a lot of this. Now it's going to pair up with the health app on your phone. Little things like, same with the iPad and with the phone. Hey, you're too close. Please take a step back. And then the one more thing. Steve was notorious for this. This is how we got the iMac. This is how we got the iPad Air. Oh, one more thing. Tim got it out of it for a while, but Tim came up with one more thing. Now, this was probably the worst kept secret that Apple had, because it was the AR glass. I'm not going to get to the price, because that's the jaw dropper at the end. My first thing is they called it the Vision Pro. How many people did it take to come up with that? That is that's of all the naming you could have done, the Vision Pro, anyway. They showed it off. It was a very cool piece of tech. You've got augmented reality, and there's no controllers. What it has all these, well, you've got your glass, obviously. I have a Quest, so I understand how these things work. I have a Quest, but they have cameras here, cameras here. What you're going to do is it actually reads what you're looking at, and then you just, so that's how you're going to control it. We'll see how it actually works. And it looks light. It looks like it's not going to be huge. Like the Quest is heavy. The sort of thing you don't use for a long time because it's heavy. There's also a cool thing called eyesight. So if you're using it, so you've got this thing in front of you and you're looking at your panorama, or you're walking, and you don't see anything. Someone comes into the room and starts to talk to you. It'll sort of stop what is going on. You can still see them in AR, and it shows your eyes, because the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So you're actually making a connection to them. So that's kind of cool. You can go and you can, while you're doing this all in AR, so you've got all these things. You've got Safari, and you've got all your photos and all these things you do, which you can just, and give me that. And you've also got digital crown here you can twist, and you've got a button here for taking pictures and videos. So very minimal on here. It's all this way. But you can look at your computer. So I open up my computer, look at it, and you can kind of go like this. And there's your computer screen in the Vision Pro. Kind of cool. You can do spatial cinema. You can do 3D movies are supported on it. So if you have a 3D movie and you're just going to, there you go. Because I do that on my Quest. I have some 3D movies. I have the Marvel movies in 3D, so I can watch it in 3D, even Ready Player One in 3D. A lot of fun there. Game controller supports. You can actually play games on this thing. And it's only about, let me get a certain sideways. It's only about that thick on your face. So it's not huge. You're not bumping into things like you can with a Quest. Bob Iger was there. Disney Plus support day one when this rolls out, and they're really eager to work with this. They're saying it'll work all day if you leave it plugged in. Of course it will. It has a battery pack and it'll give you 2 hours. And I'm sure Steve is rolling his grave because you have this beautiful thing where the cable comes down to a battery pack. It's just, you can't have all that and have huge batteries because it'll just weigh the whole thing down. So that is, I expected that. I expected that trade-off on there. There's nothing you can do. We're getting very close to the Oasis, though, because you have these ability to do these things. And it looks like they've done a really good job because you've got 2 4K displays in there. They're putting the M2 chip in there. There's also an R1 chip, which runs all the sensors and everything, a new chip they just made. And it also when you first get it, you scan your face to make what they call a persona. So you're thinking, okay, I can use this for Zoom because I said you can use it for Zoom meetings and everything else. I'm looking at people and they're seeing me with my big goggles on. No, what they're doing is they then take the scan of your face they've made, and in the Zoom meeting, you are that person. You are that face in there. So that's kind of cool. It's going to run what's called the Vision OS, and as a developer, as I am, they're rolling all that out like today. So all these things, the APIs and everything, are going to be available for people to look at, so you'll be able to make your own apps for it. There's also another program called Reality Composer Pro for making up your virtual environments. And, so you can put this here, 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 so you can basically make all these things you're going to be doing. It looks pretty cool. Here's the thing. $34.99 US. I'm in Canada. What's that? $4,900. It's going to be insanely expensive. And I expect it to be expensive. And even as I was looking at some of the pundit sites today, it's like, well, people say it's going to be about $3,000. And other people say, nah, it's not going to be $3,000. No, they're baiting you. It's going to be like $2,000, $3,500. So for me, that is a non-starter. I'm not spending $3,500 on an AR headset. That is not happening. But that's just me. I don't, maybe version 2, version 3, version 4 that comes down to a lesser version. It does look very cool, but I'm not spending $3,500. I'm not spending over 4,000 Canadian on that. If I was in a business that would, benefit from that, sure. Why not? They actually had a few people got them ahead of time, and they were showing off. They had one here was like it was a beating heart, and you could take the heart apart. And also one with they were designing a race car and some other games things. Very cool, but yeah, that price point. That's just, let's put it this way. Beginning of this video, I talked about the MacBook Air 15-inch, $1,299. 3 of those get you an AR headset. Yeah. I don't know. So that is my take on the announcements from today. That is, it's something. As a developer and as someone who, I like the iOS and like the iPad OS, I like these. They've gone in a good direction for a lot of the stuff. The hardware, whatever. I have a studio. I'm not changing in a year, and I don't need a $7,000 Mac Pro studio. I don't need that. The hardware, I don't use laptops. I'm a desktop guy. So it's cool that they announced it. No phones. So I guess we'll talk about the next phone in September if they announce it then. But yeah. So that is the takeaway from the Worldwide Developers Conference. I'm going to log in later today and just take a look at some of the developer videos because there's some things available that I can look at, and we'll see exactly where they're going. And it seems to be another big learning curve for me because I'm still picking up all this developer stuff and programming. But it is coming along. It's coming along. I'm getting it better. As I've said in one of my other videos, I went back to the entry-level stuff to start over again, and it's clicking. It's clicking. It's clicking. So yeah, I can do this. So I will have LCARs on an iPad soon. Whether it makes it to the App Store or not, I'll have it on my iPad. I've also got plans. I have this donated phone. I'm going to make a it's green screens. I'm going to make a 3D print, something to hold it in, so I'll be able to do some of my changes in here using Touch Portal. That was the plan anyway. So that is the video for today, or the sort of the follow-up video for the Worldwide Developers Conference. If you want to see what everything is, just go to apple.com. It's right there. They've already got it digitized and it's ready for replay. You can you can click on it. Here's iOS. And, it basically it has all the chapters marked in. I want this, and give me that one. And you can take a look at it yourself. So it is available free. I think it's also available on the Apple TV app. If you have that, you can just fire it up on your phone or your iPad and just watch it on there as well. So that is everything for today. It looks pretty cool. We'll see how things go. I think Apple may be fighting an uphill battle with the Vision Pro. Oh, that needs a new name. But some of the keynotes are going to, expect Hollywood to have tons of them. Expect Hollywood to give away tons of them. But it'll be for the rank and file, for the hoi polloi, as they say. A lot of people aren't going to be running out to get this because, yeah, it looks comfortable, but not $3,500 US comfortable. So that is my take on the announcements today, WWDC. Everyone, have a great day. Talk to you all.